senior cheerleaders. Up first, senior captain Lola Avery with her mom Michelle and dad Rob. Senior Brian Hawking with her family. Senior basketball players. Up first, Lucine Murray with her family. Our next senior, Jenny, Phil, Ahmed, day 30. With the following lead, Cincinnati, Brooklyn English, and Justin Brown. Our next senior, Jaden Kang, with Long Lorette and Dad John. Our next senior, Ethan Hamill, Ron Charles and Double Lee. Senior captain, Darren Gideon. With Ron Oliver, Mr. Ariani, Mr. Jordi, Mr. Stephen Rojas, and Stefan Eric. The final senior of the night, senior captain, number 2, Amani Gerardo. With Dad Alberto, Stepmom Justin, and Brother Pam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the senior cheerleaders and the players.
With plus 20-point deficit. Classical's last win last night over Medford with a plus 15-point deficit. Next game for Classical is Chelsea, and next game for Swampscott is going to be Winthrop. I'm your announcer today, Sean Donahue. Happy to bring you live basketball here on the Lynn Classical YouTube page. If you're watching on our Lynn Educational Television channel, thank you for tuning in. I want to say thanks to my crew from Lynn Classical. We got Victor up in the perch today. Let's go to the Classical's bench side for our introduction of starters. Tonight's senior night, so expect to see a lot of some of these older players starting off in the game. Oh, yeah, that.
Sophomore at 21, as for head coach, Tracy Gold. Now for start lineup for the home team, your Classical Rams. Up first, the sixth man, Moose Murda. Senior number 25, Jaden Jang. Senior number 3, Penny Gillen. Senior number 22, Ethan Hamill. Senior captain, number 5, Darren Dean. Senior captain, number 2, Amani Guerrero. The head coach is Ronnie Avery. We have put the time into 3 drives. Leave your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
A chilly evening here on this February 6th night, and we're happy to bring you some high school basketball. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date in regard to all the current events here at Lynn Classical. Coaches are working to get their final words of encouragement into their players, and we'll be heading to half court for the tip-off as we've got 8 brand new minutes on to the board for a start of a brand new game. Starting off for the Rams tonight, all seniors, Jaden Cheng, Kenny Filzami, Almighty Garado, Darren Gillian, and Ethan Hamill. For the Swampscott Big Blue, Connor Shirello, Nacleen Davis, Liam Wales, Jake Collins, and Adam Sparacio. Swampscott able to influence the tip. Gillian comes down with it, passes over to Garado. Garado with one in front. Passes down to Gillian. Back to Garado. Garado met with some pretty contentious defense by the Big Blue. trying to create a little bit of separation with these passes. Phil Zami trying to find Cheng inside. Knocked away by the Big Blue defense. Classical to inbound from Swampscott territory. And Gillian inbound. Cheng goes up high for it, surrounded by Big Blue defenders. A shot coming off of the fingertips of the senior Elmani Garado, and he drops 2-0. Classical over, 3-0. So his first shot sinks it for 3. It's a great feeling. Not that I could relate and spend a lot of time on a basketball court other than gym class. But I got to tell you, anytime I've played 2K, felt pretty good to come out and score right away. So that being said, we'll see Swampscott inbound from Classical territory, opposite side of the bench. And that's Davis, who'll be tasked with that. Chiarello with the ball, back to Davis. Davis finds Chiarello, trying to drive inside, met with the contention of 2 Rams. The shot coming from Davis, bounces back. Hamill's there for the rebound, passes it on over to Garado. Garado down low to Phil Zami. Phil Zami driving inside for the layup, can't get it to fall. Classical comes down with the rebound, but Swampscott wrestles it away from Cheng. Wales with the ball, passes over to Chiarello. Chiarello looking for some help as he's covered. Cheng steals that one away. Jump ball call down here in Classical territory. Swampscott to be the beneficiary of that possession call. A long pass up to Chiarello, and for 3, he's able to drain it. Chiarello gets onto the board with 3. 3 all. 6 minutes and a half in this first period. A long pass from Garado, intended for Gillian. Bounces on the green line. If I'm mistaken, team foul on Swampscott. Phil Zami to inbound, or Gillian. Gillian will be the inbounder for Classical. Gillian with the ball, over to Garado. Garado with Davis in front, trying to drive past the hips. A pass over to Gillian. Gillian driving inside. Jumper draws the foul. And Gillian to go to the line. His first, no good. The second. Sinks it for 1, 4-3. Classical leads the inbound. Davis met with the defense of Phil Zami immediately. Phil Zami trying to wrestle that one back. Foul call will result in an inbound for Swampscott. Liam Wales to take that responsibility. Classical pressing on the inbounds, and Swampscott trying to catch them out of position. A quick pass over to Chiarello results in a layup, a missed attempt. Garado pulls it down. Garado over to Ethan. Phil Zami comes down with a rebound, then Cheng comes down with a rebound, throws it up. Cheng drops 2. (6-3). Classical leading. Driving inside, passes back out. Wales back up to Chiarello. Chiarello trying to get inside. Bounce pass over to number 10, Collins. Jake Collins' a shot, no good. Pulled down from the boards by Elmani Garado. Garado passes over to Ethan Hamill. Hamill met with that Swampscott defense immediately. And Classical going to make a full line adjustment right here. Rucker passes inside, trying to find Bria Arias. Bria Arias' layup no good. The inbound, now Swampscott's on the move. Chiarello fast on the transitions. Kid's got good ball movement and is not hesitating to advance. Wales to inbound for Swampscott. And they'll find Davis. Davis inside over to number 5, Fitzpatrick. No options there. Passes outside of Collins. Collins trying to find Davis. Davis able to field that bad pass cleanly. Knocked away back into Swampscott position. And that's Garado on the defensive effort. Almost able to come away with it. And Cameron Rucker was nearby. Chiarello with the ball. And Garado trying to knock it away, draws a foul. And I think Chiarello is going to go. Oh, Wales to inbound for Swampscott. Over to Davis for 3. Bounces up. Swampscott first to get there. DJ Reynolds almost cleaning up the messy rebound. A shot for another 3. Sinks it. And that's number 2, Liam Wales. 6-6. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first period. And Gillian will substitute in for Cameron Rucker. First time onto the court, Avery ready to go. Devontae Rucker passes inside to DJ Reynolds. And Reynolds kicks that one away. Swampscott ball. AUL, the intended receiver on the pass, is able to clean that one up. Deshaun Rucker gets it. Deshaun Rucker with the ball again up at the top of the key. One defender in front. Swampscott playing in a bit of a zone here. Avery trying to create a little bit of separation. A pass over to Gillian, no good. Ripped down from the boards by number 2, Liam Wales. Wales now on the move with Swampscott. Passes down over to Davis. Davis testing the waters against Avery. Trying to find an open big boot player inside. Fitzpatrick just not ready for it. Avery Jr. with it. Passes over to Deshaun Rucker. Deshaun Rucker's pass intended for Briarius, and no luck there. Davis's layup attempt no good. On the rebound attempt, knocked out of bounds by the Big Blue. Classical to inbound from their own territory. Six to 6. 3 minutes left in the first period here. AUL with the ball. Back to Avery. Over to Gillian. To Avery. Avery trying to work inside. Trying to get a pass to Bria Arias. No luck there. Swampscott intercepts that one, and now they're going to get back to work offensively. Gabe Tripp with the ball. Elects to pass over to Connor Chiarello. Chiarello over to Wales. Wales testing the waters against Gillian. Goes for a jumper. Can't get it. Bria Arias there on the rebound. Elects to pass over to Avery. Avery over to Gillian. Gillian back to Avery. AUL driving inside. Draws the foul. The big man wearing 2-3. Doing his job inside the paint. AUL to go to the line for the first time tonight. Gillian, AUL, Avery, Reynolds, and Briar Arias in on the court for Classical. His second is good. AUL gets on the board, the junior center out of Classical. And Swampscott on the move again. There he is, the speedy Chiarello. And he's able to get that one in. Classical might be able to catch him out of position here, though. Avery trying to put the work in. Over to DJ Reynolds. Reynolds goes up for the layup. Nothing there. Bria Arias trying to come down with the rebound. No luck. Chiarello passes down to Liam Wales. Wales driving inside. Gillian in front. Over to number 10, Jake Collins. Collins going to Butler. Team foul on Classical. Bab to substitute in for AUL. Swampscott inbound from Classical territory. Chiarello with the ball in front is Deshaun Rucker. Davis with the ball, trying to drive inside. Pulled down off of the boards by Bria Arias. DJ Reynolds, long pass over to Avery for three. Can't get it to fall. Swampscott's there for the rebound, and now they're on another fast break. Davis with the ball. Rucko, last guy in line. Can't get it. Babs kind of come down with the rebound, knocks it out of bounds. 8-7, Swampscott leading. 1 minute, 26 seconds left in this first period. Bria Arias to come off. And Phil Zami to come in. The inbound, long one, over to Chiarello. Can't get that one to fall. Avery goes up high with Davis, trying to pull it down off the fingertips of the sophomore out of Classical, Marvin Avery Jr. And Swampscott taking advantage of substitution. Ebube Ikiwi now in on the court. Sorry, Equi. A three-pointer attempt coming from the fingertips of number 4, Gabe Tripp. And Tripp able to sink that one, 11-7. 1 minute left in the first period. Classical starting off pretty strong. Now kind of digging themselves a bit out of it into a hole. Stolen away by Chiarello. Driving inside, gets past Reynolds, goes for the layup. He gets that one to fall. Chiarello with 7 on the night so far. 13-7 in these final seconds of the first period. Deshaun Rucker with a long pass over to Phil Zami. Phil Zami back over to Avery. Avery surveying. Pass to Phil Zami, wide open for three. Not enough on it. Davis coming down with the rebound. Over to Chiarello. 20 seconds on the clock. Swampscott trying to put one more offensive front together. Chiarello's pass over to number 14, Butler. Back over to Davis. Davis for 2. Gets it to fall. And Davis gets 2 onto the board in those final seconds. After 1, 15, Swampscott, 7, Classical. We'll be back with the second period. And a fresh 8 minutes tacked onto the board here. Swampscott to inbound after the missed shot attempt from Classical in the final seconds of the first period. Wales passing over to number 11, Yannetti. Yannetti with Avery in front. Passes over to Wales for three. Gets it to fall. Wales with another three-pointer. 6 on the night so far. DJ Reynolds with the ball. Davis in front. Reynolds trying to pull back. Gets it over to Garado. Garado's pass intended for Avery, just a bit too strong. Slips right through the fingertips of Marvin Avery Jr. Swampscott inbounds the ball from their own territory. Wales at that point position. Over to Davis. Davis with DJ Reynolds in front. Grabbing inch by inch, trying to get inside the paint. Passes over to number 10, Jake Collins. Collins' shot, no good. Pulled down from the boards by Briar Rios. And Garado attempts another layup. And after receiving his own rebound, and he's able to drop two. Garado with 5 on the night. Davis driving inside. Draws a foul. Davis is going to go to the line for two. 18-9, 7 minutes left in the half. Swampscott leading over Classical. Davis's first shot, no good. Nine-point deficit here for Classical in the beginning minutes of this second period. His second, right where he wants it. Davis on the board with 3 so far tonight. Avery and Garado working to try to create a little bit of separation. That's what they do. Deshaun Rucker for 3. Can't get it to fall. DJ Reynolds is there for the rebound. Good heads-up play to knock it back into play over to Avery Jr. Avery trying to take one for 3. To no avail. And Classical's elected to stay out of that press defense. And with the legwork of Chiarello, not such a bad idea. Davis with the ball. Nice shallow pass inside of number 21, Sparacio. Sparacio passes over to Wales, and Wales tries for 3. No luck. Garado now with the ball. Over to Bria Arias. Arias trying to get it over to Garado, sorry. Bria Arias comes down with the rebound. Tipped around. Bria Arias again with the rebound. Tips it in. And Bria Arias getting onto the board. Davis, nice little behind the back before in front of Garado. And a long pass intended for God knows who. Will sail out of bounds. Swampscott side. Swampscott to inbound again from their own territory. Liam Wales tasked with that responsibility. He'll have options with Chiarello. And Classical playing a little bit off. Reynolds the only one in front. And Chiarello sees a lane. He's going to try to take it. Passes over to Davis for 3. Bounces right back into the hands of Garado. Garado now on the move. Classical trying to put an offensive front together here. Cameron Rucker passes inside to DJ Reynolds. And DJ Reynolds able to draw the foul and get one to fall for 2. Reynolds is going to go to the line. And those are his first points of the night. Reynolds from the line. Count it. Swampscott now trying to keep this lead here. No luck, cleaned up, even off for the rebound. Gillian comes down with a board. Gillian with Chiarello in front. Drives across that half mark. Passes over to Cameron Rucker. Rucker back to Gillian. Over to Avery Jr. for three. And Avery onto the board with three. Swampscott timeout. We'll take this opportunity to thank you, our viewer, for tuning in. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for all the up-to-date live sports here at Lynn Classical. I'm your announcer tonight, Sean Donahue of Lynn Educational Television. And we're happy to bring you live basketball. If you're watching on our Comcast or Verizon channels, we'd like to say thanks from Lynn Educational Television. We got our crew from Classical here bringing you these smooth, steady shots. Victor's up in the perch tonight. One of our hustlers, and we're lucky to have him. Classical right now standing at a record of 8 wins and 5 losses. Swampscott at 9 wins and 6 losses. An old school New England Northeastern Conference Northeastern Conference game. We're going back to the early 2000s here. Of course, Classical, a member of the GBL now. Next game for Swampscott is against Winthrop. And next game for Classical is against Chelsea. So, Swampscott to inbound after the timeout. Wales finds Chiarello. Chiarello with one in front. Elects to pass over to number 4, Gabe Tripp. Davis with the ball at the top of the key. Avery in front. Davis elects to pass over. DJ Reynolds, the defender. Chiarello trying to drive inside, using the wheels. And he gets that one to fall. Chiarello with 9 on the night so far. DJ Reynolds drives inside, stolen away by Chiarello. Number 0 on the move again. Goes for the layup. Bria Arias comes down with the board. Elects to bounce pass over to Avery. Avery gets it over to Cameron Rucker, to DJ Reynolds for 2. Reynolds with 5 on the night so far. 21-19, Swampscott over Classical. Davis with the ball. Finds Chiarello inside. Using the speed to create a little bit of separation, and that's exactly what he does as he drops another 2. 11 on the night for the sophomore out of Swampscott. Cameron Rucker's pass. Roki Bria Arias draws in another 2. 4 on the night. 23-21. Swampscott leads. Davis passes outside to number 4. Takes a shot for 3. Gabe Tripp's shot, no good. DJ Reynolds passes over to Gillian. Gillian with a nice, easy layup. Lucky for him, Roki Bria Arias was there for it and drops in another 2. 6 on the night for the sophomore center out of Classical. Davis with the ball now. 1 in front. Avery trying to get there. And Classical comes down with a rebound. Gillian with Chiarello in front. Drives all the length of the court. Trying to go up for 2. Draws a foul, and he'll go to the line for 2. Gillian with 1 on the night so far, his 2nd time at the line tonight. And that one touched every bit of rim and falls for the kid. 24-23, Classical takes the lead with that one. His 2nd. Right where he wants it. 25-23, Classical leading over Swampscott. 3 minutes left in the half. And Swampscott now on the offensive front. Sean Rucker playing defense. Over to Butler. Butler with the long pass. Bounce pass inside to number 14. Henry Butler takes the jumper, no good. Deshaun Rucker for three. Gets it to fall. Rucker gets on the board with that. 3 on the night, 28-23, 2.5 left in the second period. Nice knocked away by rookie Bria Arias. Cameron Rucker now with the ball. Passes inside to Avery. Avery going up a second time. Draws a foul. He'll go to the line for 2. And it sat up there for an eternity until it rolled back down. And that was probably the best rehearsed whoa by the entire crowd here at 235 O'Callahan Way. His first is good. Avery with 4 on the night. His second. Rolls it around. Swampscott comes down with a rebound. Gabe Tripp with the ball. Over to Sharias. Rucker in front. Bounce pass outside to number 2 for 3, and that's Liam Wales. And AUL comes down with the board. Bounce pass over to Avery. Avery loses his balance, falls onto the ground, and Rucker cleans it up, finds AUL. Kenny fills a me for 3, no luck. AUL now fighting down low, draws another 2. And Joshua AUL will go to the line again. 1 on the night so far for the big man out of Classical. 29-23, 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the second period. We'll go to the foul line to see what AUL has in store for us. No good on the first. His second, no good. Swampscott comes down with the board. James Kimbrough passes over to Shiarello, and Shiarello with Cameron Rucker in front. Able to get past the hips of Rucker. Loses control of it, but then gains it right back. Goes for the jumper. Swampscott's there for the board. Another attempt. No luck. Swampscott pulls it out. Try to slow it down and find better shot selection. And Classical really pushing. Final 10 seconds on the shot clock. Are they going to be able to get it off? Shiarello with 1 in front. Can they get there? Classical really trying to put the pressure on here. In the final 2 seconds, Shiarello takes a shot of desperation. Kenny Filzami comes down with the rebound. Filzami finds Deshaun Rucker. Deshaun Rucker trying to spin back inside. Loses control. Swampscott with the ball. Shiarello cleans it up with a nice, easy layup. Shiarello with 13 on the night. 29-25. Classical leads in these final seconds of the half. Kenny Filzami over to Cameron Rucker. Rucker trying to find DJ Reynolds. Back to Rucker. Inside to AUL. Met with the contentious defense of the Big Blue. Rolls it back over to Cameron Rucker. DJ Reynolds going in for 2. Waved off. He will go to the line. So Reynolds' shot will be waved off. And they'll go to the line again. 29-25. And they're going to get Dom Lowitz for the foul. And Reynolds will test his ability at the foul line. His first money. 30-25, Classical leading over Swampscott. His second. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And he'll jump right on the effort to play defense. And that's Reynolds' 7th of the night. Chiarello with the ball, has a pick to his left-hand side, drives right over to Sean Rucker, and Davis drains one for 3. Davis with 6 on the night. Cameron Rucker in these final seconds passes over to DJ Reynolds for 3, no luck. Chiarello with a long pass, a long shot attempt, off of the shot clock. And as both teams head into the locker room to make their adjustments, we're happy here at Lynn Classical. 31, Rams, 28. Big Blue will be back with the second half. And we're back for the second half. Classical leading 31-28. Same thing before we left. Top scores for Classical. Darryl Reynolds coming out with a heavy 7. But Chiarello with 13 so far on the night. Threw a couple extra vowels in his name in the first half. We got it down, so we'll throw some respect to the kid who's got most points on the night so far. Gillian with the ball, passes inside to DJ Reynolds, outside to Avery. A long pass over to Garado, back to Gillian, back to Garado. Garado with Chiarello in front. Trying to get a pick on his right-hand side, drives Davis in. Trying to get it over to Gillian for 3. A nice little attempt there. Good heads-up play by the senior out of Classical. He set a pick. That forced Davis to come over, created a little bit of space for Gillian, but no basket. Trip inbounds to Chiarello. Chiarello to Davis. Davis crossing that half mark. Finds an open Big Blue member down low for 2. And that's number 22, James Kimbo. Kimbo with 2 on the night so far. Avery back over to Garado, to Gillian, to Garado, to Avery, to Garado, to Gillian. Gillian driving inside. Finds Bria Arias for 2. Roki with 8 on the night so far. Chiarello with DJ Reynolds in front, drives to the right-hand side, finds an open player, and that's number 4 who takes the three-pointer, Gabe Tripp. Much to no avail. Avery now on the push, drives it in, gets it to fall. He'll go to the line for 1. Avery now with 6 on the night, 35-30, Classical over Swampscott. Gillian comes down with a rebound, finds Garado. And Bria Arias able to come back. Over to Gillian. Gillian driving inside, gets it to fall, and he'll go to the line for 1. Darren Gillian, 5 on the night, going to the foul line. His first time tonight from the line, 37-30. Classical leading, forces Swampscott to take a timeout. Both teams hungry for a win as we come to the final weeks of varsity regular season basketball. Classical right now with a record of 8 wins and 5 losses. Their last win this week over Medford by a deficit of over 15. Swampscott right now with a record of 9-6. beating Beverly this week by over 20 points. Swampscott will continue their trek through the the Northeastern Conference. They'll play Winthrop next week, and Classical is going to play Chelsea next week as well. So, quite the matchup so far for those who have been watching high school basketball over the last 2 decades. We got a throwback Northeastern Conference matchup here. And I can smell the roadies. The nostalgia is so strong. After the timeout, we'll go to the foul line with Gillian. He's got 1 after he gets the 2 points. He'll get that one too. Gillian with 6 on the night. Chiarello with a nice heads-up pass over to Tripp. Tripp driving inside. Goes for the layup. Can't get it. Swampscott's there for the rebound, but they can't get it to tip in. And Roki Bria Arias. A heads-up play. I'm not sure if he's going to get the call. Yeah, he chucked that ball off of the shin of a Big Blue player, and now Classical to inbound from the Big Blue territory. 6 minutes left on the third period. Classical leading by 8, 38-30. Gillian with the rock passes it over to Garado. Garado with Davis in front. Over to Gillian. Gillian with Chiarello in front. Trying to find a pass over to Avery and broken up by Tripp. Tripp driving inside. Broken up by Gillian. Gillian now on the front. Passes over to Garado. Garado passing to Gillian. Gillian can't get it to fall. Roki Bria Arias there on the rebound, but it falls out of bounds. Davis to inbound for the Big Blue. Chiarello with the ball. Garado in front. Drives past on the right-hand side, looking for a little bit of help. And he finds the number 2, Liam Wales. And Wales drops in another 2. 8 on the night for the senior captain out of Swampscott. Garado to Gillian. Gillian to Garado. Garado with Davis in front, passes over to Gillian. Gillian with no options on his left-hand side, goes back to Garado. Davis comes away with a rebound, and he's on a fast break. Goes for a layup, draws the foul. And Gillian shocked by that one. 38-32. Chiarello to head to the line for the first time tonight. His first. Right in. Chiarello starting out strong. Kind of was spinning the heads of the Rams. Guy moves pretty quickly. He's got 2 speeds. Calm, cool, collected, and straight downhill. The second attempt, no good. Roki Bria Arias there on it. Cameron Rucker pulls it away from Swampscott, passes over to Avery. Avery trying to slow things down. Over to Deshaun Rucker. Rucker trying to find Roki Bria Arias inside. Cameron Rucker with an opportunity for 3. The pass just a little too slow. Roki Bria Arias trying to come inside. Jaden Chang and Roki Bria Arias fighting for it. Avery and Classical moving the ball well. Cameron Rucker for 2. Ref calls it off. Possession call will benefit Swampscott. Swampscott will inbound from their own territory here. Wales to be tasked with that responsibility. Chiarello at the point position. Rucker in front. Rucker passing over to Wales. Wales back to Chiarello. Wales for 2. Gets it to fall. Wales with 10 on the night so far. Avery over to Deshaun Rucker. And Chiarello times Rucker's pass cleanly and scores his 16th point of the night. Cameron Rucker with the ball, surveying, gets it over to Shaheem Babb. A shot attempt, no good. Bounces out of bounds. And Classical will get the possession call. They'll inbound from the Big Blue territory. Rucker trying to find an open player, and he does, and Garado for 3! Garado with 8 on the night so far. And Chiarello drives inside, can't get it cleanly. And Garado trying to get back to work. A long pass to Roki Briarias. And Briarias trying to find DJ Reynolds inside. A little bit extra activity results in an out-of-bounds call, and Chiarello has the ball after the inbound. Garado in front, bounce pass over to number 2, Liam Wales. Wales for 2, gets that one to fall. Wales with 12 of the night so far, 41-39, 3 minutes left in the third. Classical leading over Swampscott. Classical trying to create separation with ball movement. Garado back to Avery. Avery to Garado. Garado down low to AUL. AUL trying to find DJ Reynolds inside. Reynolds strong, keeping possession. Goes for the 2. Swampscott comes down with the board. Wales gets it over to Chiarello. Chiarello with Garado in front. Chiarello passes over to Chiarello. Assuming those guys are related. And Garado with the ball. Bounces over to Avery. Avery back to Garado. Garado to Avery. Classical trying to create separation with the passes. AUL's pass timed perfectly by Chiarello. Chiarello now on another fast break. Drives it in. And man, yeah, he's good with it. Timeout, Coach Avery, as Swampscott's able to tie it back up. 41 all, less than 2 minutes in the third period, and Classical needing to make an adjustment as the Big Blue and their coaching staff might have an eye on how to be able to score points against these guys. A lot of back and forth in the first. And the second period was all Classical, and they were draining threes like they were running out of style. The beginning of this third period, Classical able to maintain that lead by at least 9 until these recent minutes. Swampscott and the kid Chiarello really been timing these passes up at the top of the key for steals and turning them into fast breaks and points onto the board. Classical to inbound. DJ Reynolds with the ball. Passes back to Avery. Avery with one in front. Over to Garado. Back to Avery. Avery for 3. Gets it to fall. That might be the longest 3 in the history of the 235 O'Callahan Gym. I doubt it, but that was incredible. Another 3 attempt by Chiarello. No good. Classical comes down with it. And Avery with 9. Gillian now with the ball. Gets called out of bounds. Must have stepped on the line. Wales to inbound for the Big Blue. Chiarello with the rock. Reynolds in front. 41 all. In the final 70 seconds of this third period. Bounce pass over to number 4, Gabe Tripp. Tripp now with Gillian in front. Passes over to Chiarello. Chiarello with DJ Reynolds in front. Chiarello still with it, trying to drive onto the right-hand side. Makes an adjustment, gets 2 to fall. Chiarello with 20 on the night so far. (44-43), Classical still leading. And Avery driving past number 11, Yannetti, forcing him to the ground. Chiarello receiving the inbound. DJ Reynolds in front. Chiarello's pass over to number 2, Liam Wales. No good. Rolke Bria Arias comes down with the board, passes it over to Marvin Avery Jr., and Avery Jr. gets it over to Gillian. Gillian back to Avery. Avery to Gillian. Gillian has a little bit of space. Trying to drive on the right-hand side. Goes for the layup. And he's dang near tackled. And they'll call Avery for the charge. Five seconds left before we head to the fourth. Classical leading by 1. Avery will come off to get some rest. Chiarello now on the fast break, trying to drive in for another 2. A little too high, can't get it to fall. So Classical able to maintain their lead here, but not by much. 44-43, Classical over Swampscott. We'll be back with the fourth. A brand new 8 on the board here. And Classical needing to stay into this game. Swampscott making adjustment after adjustment to climb back into it. And a shot clock adjustment. And a bit of discussion between the stripes. DJ Reynolds trying to drive inside, jump ball call. Make sure you get that shot clock in there, okay? And Swampscott to benefit from the possession call. Chiarello with Cameron Rucker in front. Chiarello in a bit of trouble as he's met with a contentious defense of a few Rams. Chiarello with Rucker in front again. Bounce pass outside. Over to number 32. Chiarello with the shot. No good. Classical and Swampscott fighting for it down low. Tripp comes away with it. Wales trying to drive inside, passes over to Jake Collins. And Collins will get called for the travel. 44-43. 52 seconds have ticked by in the beginning of this fourth. No points just yet. Classical now on the offensive front. Garado receives the inbound from Gillian. Over to Cameron Rucker. Back to Garado. Garado with one in front. Passes over to Cameron Rucker. And finds Bria Rias inside, and he gets it to fall for two. And he's got 10 on the night. A long pass from Chiarello over to number 10, Jake Collins. Classical swatting at that ball. And they'll send a Big Blue member to the line. Gabe Tripp, 3 on the night. His first attempt at the foul line, 46-43. Classical leading, 46-44. His second. Swish. That's his 5th of the night. 46-45. Classical still up. Cameron Rucker with the ball. Passes over to Garado. Garado to Avery. Avery for 3. Bounces back into the fingertips of Chiarello. And Chiarello with one in front. Trying to drive and go for that layup. He'll draw a penalty. And Chiarello will go to the line for 2. 46-45. Swampscott trailing by 1. Chiarello's first. Right where he wants it. And that's his 21st of the night. He's been a huge contributor to the Big Blue, offensively and defensively. He's got a handful of steals and a few rebounds on being in the right time at the right place. 22 for the sophomore out of Swampscott. Swampscott takes the lead with that one. Garado to Avery. Avery back to Garado. Garado driving in front. Passes over outside to Avery. Avery finding Cameron Rucker for 3. Can't get it to fall. Tripp comes down with a rebound. A wide open Chiarello gets that one in. 6 minutes on the board. And Avery over to Garado. Garado to Rucker. Swampscott really pushing on the defensive front. Garado trying to find Gillian in front. Three-point deficit here for Classical. Rucker gets it over to Bria. 'DJ Reynolds finds Babb for 2. Nothing there. Swampscott pulls down the rebound. Chiarello now on another fast break. Avery in front. Tries to go for 2. Trips there on the rebound. Can't get it. Babb cleans it up. A pass attempt from Babb stolen away by Tripp. And Chiarello and the Big Blue are hyped as he scored his 27th of the night. Coach Avery is riveting after Swampscott has dug their way back into this game and out of the trench and on top with a score of 52 over Link Classical's 46. And poorly timed passes and careless passes have really been the big issue for the Rams in the second half. Swampscott's been quite aggressive at trying to get in front of these passing lanes and knock that ball away, whether it's out of bounds or in, in the direction of Connor Chiarello. This kid's been a force so far tonight. 27 points, handful of rebounds, handful of steals. And I don't think he's going to be slowing down anytime soon. Classical's going to have to dig deep if they plan to walk away with a win. They are on a 3-game winning streak right now. Deshaun Rucker to inbound for the Rams. And he finds DJ Reynolds back over to Garado. Garado to Avery. Deshaun Rucker driving inside, going up for 2. Draws the foul, and Rucker's going to go to the line for 2. Rucker's first, no good. His second, no good. Tripp comes away with a rebound. Likes to hand that one off to Chiarello. Chiarello with Rucker in front. Chiarello's pass over to Collins. Over to Tripp. Back to Collins. Collins thinking about taking it for 3. Passes outside to number 22. That's Kimbrough. And Collins for 3. Bria Arias comes down with a rebound. Garado with it, over to Avery. Avery with Chiarello in front. Avery now in a bit of a struggle. And Avery draws the foul. Swampscott shocked. Classical psyched. 52-46, 4:20 in the fourth. Avery inbounding from the opposite side of the court, finds Garado. Garado to Cameron Rucker. Back over to Garado to Avery. Avery's pass nearly intercepted by Chiarello. Cameron Rucker with the ball. Gets over to Bria Arias. Arias' shot forces him to have to get his own rebound, and he drains that one for 2. 12 of the night for the sophomore center out of Classical. Chiarello in front for 3, no luck. Avery with the ball, 2 in front. Nice little bounce pass over to Cameron Rucker. Finds Garado for 3, no luck. DJ Reynolds goes up with the layup after the rebound. Still on the rebound, trying to get that ball up. Still nothing there. And Swampscott's number 2, Liam Wales, comes down with it. Wales now with Garado in front, takes the 2, and the jumper's no good. DJ Reynolds comes down with the board. Final 3 minutes of the fourth period ticking by. Garado with it in front is number 22, Kimbrough. Garado driving inside, stolen away by Tripp. Chiarello now in a fast break. Nice little layup there. And Chiarello scores his 29th with that one. Classical trailing by 6 here in these final 3 minutes of the fourth period. And after Swampscott's timeout, we'll see what Classical's got in store to get some points on the board here. Classical to inbound from their own territory. Rucker finds Avery. Avery with Kimbrough in front. Gets it over to DJ Reynolds. Reynolds over to Garello. Long shot attempt from Avery. Rolls up and on top of the backboard. Out of bounds call. Swampscott to inbound from their own territory. Chiarello with the ball. Avery in front. Passes over to Davis. Davis finds number 2, Liam Wales. His shot declined. Roki Bria Arias able to come down with the board. Out of bounds call benefiting Classical. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left, 54-48. Swampscott over Classical. Rucker inbounds the ball to Avery. Avery with Kimbrough in front. Back to Rucker. And Swampscott splitting responsibilities on defense. That zone has really got Classical in a bit of a pickle. Chiarello with 31 on the night. Avery over to Gillian. Coach Avery takes a timeout. 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the game. And Classical now trailing by 8. A 9-point deficit in the third for Classical. And Swampscott, you got to hand it to them. They really dug themselves out of the hole. 31 points on the night for number 0, Connor Chiarello, the sophomore out of Swampscott. And Swampscott's found themselves in the Classical passing lanes throughout the duration of the second half. Gillian inbound for the Rams. Avery with the rock. Kimbrough in front. Long pass over to Garado. Back to Avery. Wide open for 3. No luck. Gillian comes down with a rebound. Foul call on Swampscott as they reach over. And Phil Zami now in on the court for the Rams. Long pass intended for Roki Bria Arias. Stolen away. Kimbrough was there on the tip. Chiarello now with the ball. Phil Zami in front. And he's going to force Phil Zami to come out and play some defense as these final seconds tick away. 18 seconds on the shot clock, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Chiarello drives inside, gets it for 2. And the big blue bench has erupted once again here in the fourth as they've taken a 10-point lead here late in the fourth quarter. Swampscott takes a timeout to try to keep their players in gear. and finish. This is the name of the game for Swampscott right now. That's their mentality coming into this after the timeout. And Classical, you really got to put the pressure. Phil Zami with the inbound. Garado with the rock. Passes over to Gillian. Back to Garado. Garado with Kimbrough in front. Drives past on the right-hand side. Goes up for two. Davis comes down with the rebound. Stolen away by Garado. Garado for two. No luck, but he'll go to the line. And they'll give Garado two. 51 seconds here in the fourth quarter. His first money. Garado with 9 on the night tonight. His second. Bounces back. Swampscott comes away with a rebound. Chiarello now on the move. Forcing Classical to play defense. And Classical getting called for a push. 58-49. Swampscott leading Classical. Davis receives the inbound from Chiarello. Davis driving inside. Finds number 2, Leon Wales. Foul on Classical is going to result in another inbound for Swampscott. Classical facing a 9-point deficit, under 60 seconds. And so they'll call Cameron Rucker with the hold. And that's going to send Wales to the line. Wales with 12 on the night so far. He gets that one a fall. Wales' a second attempt, nothing but net. 14 on the night. Gillian with a pass down to Phil Zami, right back to Gillian for 2. Bounces off of the rim and into the hands of Davis. And Chiarello now trying to just drain out the clock in these final seconds of the game. And Swampscott's going to walk away with the victory. Swampscott tonight, 60 points against Classical's 49. Top player, Connor Chiarello, with 33. Playing well for Classical, rookie Bria Arias with 12 of the night so far. Marvin Avery Jr. with 9. And Daryl Reynolds with 7. I want to give a shout out to Almani Garado as well with 9. So at the end of this one, Classical's going to fall to a record of 8 wins and 6 losses, while Swampscott improves to 10-6. Swampscott heading to Winthrop, and Classical heading to Chelsea in these final games of the regular season. I want to say thanks to those who are tuning in, watching us live on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports information coming out of Lynn Classical. From 235 O'Callahan Way, I'm Sean Donahue, your announcer, thanking you on behalf of Lynn Educational Television, wishing you all the best.